So unintended pregnancies constitute a major risk to the health of adolescents and young women, and that results in morbidity and mortality, with a global annual incidence of 121 million, and that's about 64 unintended pregnancy per 1,000 women. That's women within the age of 50 and 49 years. But in sub-Saharan Africa, 40 million unintended pregnancy is recorded annually, and 44% of that occurs among young women between 15 and 24 years of age. So unintended pregnancy is still prevalent among this population. There has been some cross-sectional studies within Nigeria that focuses on unintended pregnancy among women generally, but there is a depth of study, particularly a country-level study on unintended pregnancy, its determinants, and particularly the outcome of such pregnancies. And having an understanding of this could actually give a direction to policy formulation and implementation that could help put a check on the incidence of unintended pregnancy and its consequent morbidity and mortality. So these are my research objectives, and I'm still using the NDHS data. So the outcome variable here is unintended pregnancy. I've looked through the NDHS data, and that data is available for current pregnancy and for 5 previous pregnancies, and it's coded as then, later, and not at all. And so later or not at all is grouped together as unintended, and that will be coded as 1, and then if they wanted, it would be as 0. So for the second objective, looking at determinant of unintended pregnancy, I'll be tabulating some individual and community characteristics of the young women against the prevalence of unintended pregnancy at bivariate and multivariate level. The individual characteristics would include age, education level, marital status, weight index, and all of which are actually available in that data. And then the outcome of pregnancy, I'm looking at miscarriage, abortion, stillbirth, live birth, their experiences attending antenatal, birth weight, and place of birth of that baby. There's, however, a limitation, as unintended pregnancy in previous study that I've seen is measured as current pregnancy that is not wanted. So if I'm working with that, there is no data on outcome of current pregnancy, as the pregnancy is still ongoing. So I'm looking at working using the most previous pregnancy as unintended pregnancy, because there are information on the outcome of the most previous pregnancy as it relates to some of the outcome that I'm looking at. And these are my references.
Comments? Comments from colleagues?
Thank you very much. It's a lot of improvements. But I want to know, yesterday I thought you were asked, are you working on adolescents 15 to 19, or you are working on young?
I'm sticking to young women. 15 to 24, yes. 15 to 24, I will work on it.
What is the justification for this study?
Okay. The justification for this study is unintended pregnancy is still prevalent among women and constitutes a lot of health risk to them. And while there has been some state level or specific setting level study on its prevalence of unintended pregnancy, there's still a data on Nigeria as a whole as regards the determinant and outcome of unintended pregnancy particularly. And having an understanding of that could help us channel adequate or drive policy that could help prevent or reduce the incidence of unintended pregnancy. Thank you.
The reason I'm asking that is that you actually put that under your statement.
Okay.
So it's the last 2 bullets that you have. When you put it, you explain it as justification.
Okay.
You're still putting it
Under statement of purpose.
So I think you should. Thank you. Then your variables.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain the outcome, the 0 and the 1, the later and not at all 1? Can you explain that?
Okay. This as it's labeled in the DHS data set, the woman is asked for current pregnancy, if they wanted that pregnancy then, and that's wanted, or they wanted it later, or they don't want it at all. So those two groups are the unintended.
Thank you.
Do we now, have we got a response before I come to you, sorry? Have we got a response from DHS?
Not yet, sir.
I applied after you people in the evening.
No, I sent mine yesterday.
I sent one yesterday.
I've seen response this morning.
Sir, maybe they know you already. Sir, they know you.
Okay.
Sir, for me, I registered for MICS. They sent me a mail to send the information on what I wanted to know. I sent that, and the data set they sent to me is just
They
like
gave you access to?
Yes, the one they gave me access to.
Are you sure you didn't feed your special data with it? Because you have options to feed data sets, geospatial information. There are about 3 things you can pick. Go back and check what you did. But by now, all of you should have. I don't say this, but anyway, let's come to the class. What? Or any other question from colleagues, please?
My concern is still about this outcome.
Okay.
What have you decided to do with this? This outcome of last pregnancy, right?
Yeah. Well, for teenage or young mothers with unintended pregnancy, there's a probability for them not to have access to needed healthcare services, which could actually affect their pregnancy and birth experiences. So, working on this, and of course, these are not all the outcomes I'm looking at. This ANC visit has a lot of variables under here, and that could actually also help to channel resources in their direction, that even if their pregnancy is unintended, there should still be care available to them without any form of prejudice or something.
What is the place of this outcome? That's what I'm trying to understand. What's the place of this outcome itself in this study? Okay, you want to know what happens after the pregnancy. Is that it?
Yes.
And we have miscarriage, abortion, stillbirth, ANC visits.
Antenatal care visit.
As I know, I'm asking like,
Okay.
how is it an outcome?
There are things that are captured under it. The care they receive, did they start on time?
I have a feeling that I think we had that conversation. I will not be able to.
You are not getting a sound question.
Okay,
It's
sir.
looking like some of these outcomes are probably what's it called now? Are different from your first outcome of unintended pregnancy. You are dealing with 2 outcomes here now.
Okay.
Exactly.
You said okay, no, that's
I think Azan is interpreting outcome statistically.
No,
But
no.
she is saying it from
As a
the point of view.
the outcome here is a variable. Like, what are
That's
the?
what
Not
I'm
as a
saying.
variable.
I'm not looking at the one of as a variable is up there.
Yes.
I'm talking of this outcome. Like, what is the place in this study? Yes, you have an outcome already as the outcome variable.
Okay.
So what is the place of this outcome? This second one that you have.
You see, we are back to where, and I remember making, I get that thought. That are you dealing with 2 outcomes? You know, I said yesterday, that was why you remove outcome
From the title.
Yeah. And we now said that whether it was Paul or me, that you could still have this analyzed if you are interested.
Okay, sir.
But the main objective of this your work is what? unintended
and its
determinant of unintended pregnancy and all that.
Yes, sir.
And that's the main thing, if I'm right, from the title. This other interest of yours,
yes, sir,
is just an additional thing.
Objective somewhere.
So it could be part of your specific objective.
yes, it's part of it.
You can say yes, it is, but I don't think you have information. I know it's not a variable. I don't think you have that information regarding whether it's abortion.
There is actually, there is.
Regarding this intended or unintended pregnancy.
You know what? This is what she's thinking of, and I hope Mercy has said this clear in her thoughts. She's looking at unintended pregnancy as now an independent variable against the outcome variables of whether they attended ASC after that unintended pregnancy or they had a step back from it. Put it back. I don't know what I'm getting your thoughts.
Yes, sir.
So at this point, unintended pregnancy becomes
An independent variable.
for
These outcomes.
this miscarriage, abortion, stillbirth. She's hoping all these are her outcomes.
So that takes it back.
Is that
You
your
are going to become variables again.
It becomes a variable again. Is that your plan?
Yes.
So you are going to run another analysis.
And for this third research question to be answered, that would happen.
Susina, are you getting it now? So for that purpose, unintended pregnancy becomes
An independent variable against the outcomes, against those itemized outcomes.
Each one of them.
or all of them
How do you know
together.
what kind of analysis plan?
No, she maybe she's not thinking about relationship. Maybe she's just thinking about descriptive.
Is it just descriptive you want to do?
I've not explored it to that level,
Like,
sir.
okay, how many of them are stillborn? How many of
What kind
them
of descriptive?
frequencies?
So how do you relate it
To unintended
Are
pregnancy.
you doing cluster for each one of them?
Yes.
That's probably what will happen.
And you are having this number of outcomes, there are issues. For one dependent variable,
Variable.
I should just run probably all
simple
the
frequency, that squared.
against unintended.
Not as a relationship. Maybe just as
Come on, which one becomes your row and which one becomes your column?
So you will have all other ones as the row and then the column.
Which all other ones?
All the ones measured, miscarriage, abortion, type.
Does that which is dependent in that instance and which is independent?
In that instance, how am I going to answer this?
Yeah, statistician now.
Don't mind him as a statistician. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
What he's saying is not right. Because that's why he said check your question yourself. The way he's going, what should be the independent is turning to dependent. Which means you are going to take, at that level, you are using unintended, like you have a bivariate relationship with each of them, miscarriage, and that's his concern. So go and think about it. It's not a bad idea. It's sometimes good to do a lot of complex analysis, provided you can justify it and all that. And you're beginning to clear my mind because I was looking at your statistical plan. Go back, that's a place.
Okay, sir.
So you intend to do the determinants, running what? Bivariate and multivariate analysis. Determinants of which group?
Of unintended pregnancy.
Okay. Why are you running multivariate? When do you run multivariate?
Okay, multivariate. If I do bivariate against the selected individual and community, and then there are significant ones, then I move those ones with.
Is there a difference between multivariate analysis and multivariable analysis?
Multivariate and multivariable. I don't know, sir.
Because what you are doing there,
Yes, sir.
what you are doing in this place,
Yes, sir.
is not. What we tend doing here is a multivariable analysis.
Okay, sir.
And not a multivariate analysis. Now, for multivariate analysis, you have more than one. That was why I said yesterday that this your outcome. Are you dealing with multiple dependent variables? When you have multiple dependent variables, what you are running, what you are going to run, is a multivariate analysis. But here you are doing individual level, community, and if I get your thought, you have many independent variables,
yes,
but one dependent variable. So
yes,
that is a multivariable analysis.
Yes, sir. Thanks.
And so, please, this is your struggle with as an outcome. Let's hear from Prof. Sir.
Sir, I want to suggest that the outcome variable, that the first bullet and the last bullet, what's the difference? Outcome and
Yes, sir. The last bullet is like outcome of that unintended pregnancy.
So what does ANCVC got to do with it?
ANC visits, like their experiences as they go through that pregnancy, even in receiving health care. Yes, sir.
Before birth.
Yes, sir.
So outcome of unintended pregnancy. Visits. All right. Anyway, if we have unintended pregnancy as our outcome variable, and I'm going to suggest that that should be our outcome variable.
Okay, sir.
And then we are grouping then later not at all. Later and not at all as 1.
Yes, sir.
Then as 0.
Yes, sir.
Our focus now will be, can we go back to the topic? So, straight away, our focus will be, what are the factors influencing unintended pregnancy among unmarried adolescent girls in Nigeria? Now, can we go back to, let's go back to where we have the variable. All right, so all other things that you have there.
Yes, sir.
The individual, the community level variables.
Yes, sir.
They are the ones we want to examine, both at bivariate and multivariate levels. Okay?
Yes, sir.
To talk about factors influencing unintended pregnancy.
Yes, sir.
Well, one of your sub-objectives can also be what proportion of unintended pregnancy resulted into miscarriage,
okay, sir,
abortion, stillbirth, and blood. So we can find out outcome of or the result of unintended, whether they carried it to term or they did not carry it to term.
Yes,
whether
sir.
it resulted in live birth or not.
Yes, sir.
I think those variables should still be in the data, right?
Yes, sir.
Right. All right, so we then go back to the second slide.
Prof, sir, that means that objective 3, if it's just a simple run, okay, can you have a look at the objective 3, sir? With what you have
So determine
suggested.
the outcome.
If she wants to determine the outcome, then she's talking in terms of relationship between those multiple, except she's just sticking with the way you've just identify what happened to them.
Yeah.
And not trying to attempt to use it as an independent variable for those outcomes.
Okay, sir.
It's probably a disputed thing. What proportion of girls with unintended pregnancy resulted in the different things that we have said at that time? It's not a rigorous analysis.
Yeah, for that, if she sticks to that, then it's not a rigorous one. But what she's attempting to do at this stage is to now turn unintended as a independent variable and those other ones. So is it clear? It won't work that way.
In fact, I would suggest that should be the first objective.
Yeah, the proportion, just simple description of that.
Yeah, the way analysis will be more of that.
Okay, sir.
Now, the first objective, are you interested in the whole of the country or you want to do a regional thing?
All, sir.
Maybe secondary data,
And that's why I said all, sir.
You can do whole, you can now solve, give subnational difference.
Yes, sir.
So one single prevalence, then one prevalence across region. It makes it 4.
Okay, sir.
You're not going to the field, it's just a click.
Yes, sir.
You get stuck, contact us now.
Easier, sir. We are here together.
This has done that you can cooperate.
I'm still battling with my own.
Alright, now to determine the factors associated with unintended pregnancy among unmarried. Okay. Alright, fine, that's good. What is actually the problem that you're looking at? The statement of the problem. Can you go to that slide?
Okay, sir.
Then please, sir, you should adjust this your codes. It will not fit in again. AGYW.
Which one is AGY?
Adolescent girls and young women.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, they actually, from the literatures I've seen, they present data on them together, actually. Adolescent girls and young women, 15 to 24.
15 to 24, they
Yes.
describe them as adolescent
Yes,
and young
sir.
women
Yes, sir.
for unintended pregnancy.
Yes, sir. And most of the literature on abortion that I've seen.
Huh?
They use it in the
You also use young the other time, and I made some comment about it. But if that's the general thing.
Yeah, for abortion and unintended pregnancy.
Okay, let's look at statements.
Okay, sir.
Need for a country-level study on unintended pregnancy. Unintended pregnancy is prevalent among adolescent girls and young women, right?
Yes, sir.
Cross-sectional studies focus on specific states.
Yes, sir.
Focus on women generally.
Yes, that's 15 to 49.
Okay. Need for a country-level study on unintended pregnancy.
Yes, sir. As it relates to its determinant and then the outcome.
This third bullet and the fourth bullet
Yes, sir.
is countrywide, right?
Third and fourth,
The third one is countrywide. Focus on women
generally.
Because what you are saying is studies that you have seen so far focused on women generally.
More cross-sectional, sir. Like they are still specific to some parts of the country.
But then the focus is on women.
Yes, sir.
I just want that, I just from 15 to 49.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm expecting you to talk about the fact that there is little information about 15 to
Okay, sir.
24.
Okay, sir.
Is that also true? Because she said a lot of AGYW.
No, on abortion, sir. Like these are statistics in relation to incidents, and some of them I saw one as far back as 2004. Some are quite old.
Let me ask you this question.
15 to 24.
For abortion to take place, especially the one that is not spontaneous,
Yes, sir.
will it be right to say in the first instance that pregnancy is not wanted? For anybody that commits abortion intentionally, it means she did not want.
That
Is
pregnancy.
that true?
Yes, sir.
It's not true.
Yes, so no spontaneous. He mentioned no spontaneous, like intentional, like induced abortion.
You decide to terminate a pregnancy because your health is not.
You don't want it, no, no.
And that can be done in reputable hospitals by qualified people. But for somebody to go and terminate
Abortion by a pregnancy.
terminate pregnancy. Definitely fulfill oyún.
It's still wanted, no.
Using contraceptive.
Okay, I get her point.
Also, yesterday at that point, that so fair and now health issue. That means she's already now, she is intending to give pregnancy.
Yes,
It's no longer
or is not
when you
unintended.
begin to consider your health issues. I don't know, so you are keeping
So it's not unintended.
because of my health, then I want to abort it. So it's not no longer unintended. Yeah.
All right, now, policy formulation, I'm trying to look at what is the problem? Okay? I love your slide, it's not wordy, but then it's not really telling me what is the problem here. Once you are able to identify the problem, it helps you get focus in literature search in the type of analysis you want to come up with. What is motivating you?
What was motivating me, sir?
Are you an Igbo woman? When you are asking an Igbo man a question, how do you mean me?
It's my previous work on their access to sexual and reproductive health services, and which is not really met, and it has been identified that contributes to unintended pregnancy among them. And so I feel that having information on what determines unintended pregnancy and some of the outcomes that they face when they happen to them could help to drive provision of needed sexual and reproductive health services to them.
You are justifying the study. What is the problem that is leading you to this study? Can we just leave her to think about, do some critical thinking?
Okay, sir.
Do you understand what we mean by problem? Okay? What is leading you to want to study this unintended stuff among this age group? Alright?
Okay.
So, but I think it's an improved work between yesterday and today.
It is very well. Let's clap for about sexual and reproductive health issues. You build on it. You build around
Probably the unmet need and
things like that.
Affecting the education.
Please, who are we taking? There is lunch and there is pressure on me that people should